Okay, we're holding. Just hold on 1 minute. We're working with technical difficulties. Thank you for standing by. We will begin class momentarily. Okay, greetings everyone. This is Staying in the Light Society. How's everybody today? Wonderful, wonderful. And every day is wonderful. Don't let the worst bad day come out your mouth. Today we're going to talk about selfishness. If you review what's been talked about the last few years, you can boil it down to that one topic: selfishness. And that's the positive thing, being selfish. Don't let someone tell you that that's negative. Selfishness is organized nationhood. Marcus Garvey said, race first, selfishness. Elijah Muhammad said, do for self, have your own nation. That's selfishness. The Honorable Noble Drew Ali said, we are part and partial of this land. Selfishness. Now, when you really know what that means, you have to say, well, if you're going to talk about selfishness, you got to know yourself. That's the cry of ages, knowing yourself. And it especially applied to people in America who call themselves black. Because that is prima facie evidence that they do not know themselves. They're calling themselves by a label given to them who were the oppressor, who stolen from them, who took their land, who took their identity, took everything, the language, the religion, and left you a corpse. Corpse. That's what a corporation is. That's what the U.S. is. A nation of dead people when you look down to it. So, first off, let me talk about the message we give here. It's not for everyone. It's for those who identify with the struggle, or called the movement. All movements are struggles. It didn't begin with joy. It didn't begin with Booker T. Washington. That's what the Black history teaches. Booker T. Washington, then uh, Marcus Garvey, then Noble Dry Lee, then Elijah Muhammad, then Malcolm X, Farrakhan, Khalid Muhammad. These are some of the noteworthy people from which I ascend. I come from the line I was taught by Khalid Muhammad. He invited me to the temple before he was known as Khalid Muhammad. His name was Harold X. Walking the streets of Houston, Texas, he said, "Brother, come to the temple. Learn all about who you are." This was in the, had to be late 60s. Yeah, he said, "Come to the temple." I was a teenager. "Come to the temple, learn who you are." And later he became known as Khalid Muhammad. Enough about me. So this lesson is for the children, those who want to know who they are. Because if you don't know who you are, you're still a child. And that's a good thing. The whole scripture's talking about the children of God. You know, you still with your parents. You haven't gone out on your own. You're still being taken care of. But there come a time you got to grow up. Once you recognize, oh man, I'm grown, but I'm still a child. I'm a child of God, child of the King. But we don't stay children. Okay, these pictures I have here is exactly the idea of what I'm doing. The one on the right is the elderly gentleman, the teacher, the walimu. The one on the left is the student. And you know the student got books and papers because he's taking notes. So any serious students who come here have to come with paper and pencil and take notes. Why? Because I don't know if that old man know what he's talking about. So I'm not going to trust everything he say. That's the look the student has in his eyes. If you look at his eyes, he's saying, do you know what you're talking about? Are you telling me the truth?" So the teacher told him, say, "Get your books, get your papers, do your research. Don't believe me." Okay, for those who just coming in, greetings again. This is Staying in the Light Society, and we are teaching about selfishness today. And once you realize the need to be selfish, to have your own, actually, you have to know yourself first. Selfishness is knowing yourself. You're all up in who you are. And that's a commandment. Know thyself is a commandment. And it's not about arguing with people or integrating with people. See, that's what happened to us. Integration has caused you to lose your identity more than you had. Remember before integration? Well, I do. Oh man, we had heritage. We were still children, but we had our own head on our shoulders by the fact that we wore afros and we was proud of our hair. The brothers kept it neat and trim, and the sisters as well. And Nobody gonna tell us to cut our hair. No, no, no. That's who we are. That's our heritage. However, when integration came, when you got outside of your community, when you had to go and get a job, Job, you know what Job went through, right? It's spelled the same way. When you had to go get a job, the manager said, you can't wear that hair here. You can't, we not gonna hire you. He told the brothers had to cut their hair. He may not address it to men as much as he addressed it to women. He told them they had to do something with their hair, meaning relax it. And the reason why they did that because if you see somebody have something you don't have and you can't get, it makes you feel envious or jealous. So to keep the non-melanated women from feeling jealous because they couldn't grow afros, they felt left out. So they feel a certain way. Maybe that's inferior. So to keep the unmelanated people, or let's just call them white people, that's what they call themselves. To keep them from feeling inferior, they say, well, you got to, women, you got to look like them. That's acceptable. But your hair didn't grow relaxed. You had to, they call it do your hair. You had to heat it up. It actually was killing you had to kill the hair. Because naturally the hair is going to stand up straight. But when you kill it, you make it lie down. But that's the norm. That's what you were required to do to integrate. So that's when we lost our selfishness, because you became somebody else. So God ain't gonna be around you if you do that. God said, "Oh, I'm out of here." When you come back to your knowledge of who you are, we can talk. So what we talking about is nation building, nationhood, having your own everything. You think it's normal to have another people provide for you? That makes you a child. You're not standing with men. When you stand with men, you do things as a people. You trade with other people, other nations. Like the African leaders, they coming here making deals to trade with America. They're selfish for their own people. So that's where we are headed. We got everything we need. We got the finances. That's the main thing I've been working on most of my life, having the finances. And everything is happening right on time. However, when the people start coming in, the measure is going to be your knowledge of self. We're not going to, this is the time taken now to teach you. If you come in without the knowledge of self, we can't allow you to come in not knowing who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, you won't know who we are. And you're a burden because we got to teach you everything. So this forum is for teaching those who would come so they would come right. In other words, you're not going to just be able to come on in because you black. You got to have a knowledge of yourself. So this is where you're getting it at right here. So selfishness is a good thing when you know yourself, then you do for self, and that's what a nation is all about. Okay, we're going to leave it right there until next time. Stay in the light is your guide to your higher self.